A basic need of a distance learner is that of the convenience of balancing a career with education, as proposed by Randall Hansen. I can appreciate this as a high school teacher, husband, and father. Distance learning has been valuable to me since fitting courses into my schedule is not always easy to do. The needs of learners to incorporate their coursework with work and family life is also discussed in the article by Howell, Williams, and Lindsay. To this end, a typical distance learner likely benefits from the flexible scheduling distance education can offer. Howell, Williams, and Lindsay also mention commonalities among successful distance education learners. They're self-motivated, independent, and benefit from understanding the context in which the coursework can be applied in their present and future careers. It also comes as no surprise that Song, Singleton, Hill, and Co. found that surveyed distance learners indicated time management as a necessary skill to be successful in distance learning. Another need of successful distance learners is technological fluency. Studies show that comfort with online technologies is important in being successful in distance learning. In distance education courses, technology is used for receiving and completing assignments, communicating with educators and peers, collaborating, as well as viewing and creating multiple modes of representing information, like this video. Having a basic background of technology helps distance learners be successful by allowing them to focus on the content they are learning rather than overcoming technological hurdles. Successful distance learners also need support occasionally. Schools can utilize support staff to create a sense of community among distance learners and to facilitate peer-to-peer assistance for technological and educational problems. Distance learners also complete courses with lower attrition rates when organizations support students with information and help concerning course choice and availability. It is common for distance learners to never meet their instructors or peers face-to-face. Therefore, students not needing face-to-face interactions will likely find it easier to be successful in distance learning compared to students that want and need regular face-to-face interactions. Students desiring a good sense of collaboration and communication could increase their satisfaction in distance education by choosing and enrolling in courses offering synchronous learning. Synchronous instruction requires students to take part in coursework at specific dates and times, whereas asynchronous instruction allows for more flexibility in when students complete their assignments. Students should enroll in courses that align with their preferred style whenever possible. Whether courses are synchronous or asynchronous, it is imperative that distance coursework develop and maintain a sense of community and connection among its educators and students to give students the best chances for success and satisfaction in the course. Since technology is used regularly in distance education, students desiring to implement and embrace technology in their learning styles are more likely to be satisfied with distance learning. The design of the course itself is also important for successful distance learners. Research shows that distance learners prefer courses that build a sense of community and explicitly explain instructional goals. Therefore, distance learners need the ability to communicate and collaborate in meaningful ways and understand the expectations of the course in order to be successful. Song and the other authors of her article also explain how it is common for students in distance learning to encounter technical problems as obstacles in learning. It is important then for distance learners to be motivated and self-driven to find solutions to their problems through resources available to them. Distance learners tend to prefer courses requiring posting and responding to ideas via the internet. Since their responses and ideas are published for all to see, it forces students to think more deeply about the responses compared to traditional courses. On the other hand, Song also mentions how distance learners tend to dislike the delay in responses inherent in asynchronous study. When planning lessons for face-to-face instruction, I account for resources my students will need and what support they might need in order to be successful. For example, physics students regularly need to access math skills to succeed, and my students have a wide range of math backgrounds and abilities. I can have students work in collaborative groups based on math abilities and offer remediation assistance to groups needing more assistance. This structure could be reproduced in distance learning by creating virtual study groups to increase students' sense of community and peer-to-peer discourse and assistance. I currently teach using a blended learning model since my students each have their own device. For technical issues, I've made a resource folder available to students that addresses common technological hurdles and videos on how to use various digital resources that I commonly implement in class. This could easily be reproduced in a distance learning environment. Adding a discussion board could further expand on this, allowing students to have peer assistance with each other concerning their issues.